morning. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the Wednesday. Yes. What the hell's today, Month? What day is today? Tuesday.
It's Tuesday, baby.
All right. I have had probably the worst 48 hours I've had to go through. But good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pinstripe Chronicles. I'm not even going to say what day it is, but I am Uncle Tats, all confused as always. And with me, my sense of normalcy, obviously, is Donald. And listen, the Yankees are coming off a sweep of the Cardinals, and we actually we had a lot going on. I had a lot going on yesterday, as well as Rob. So we are doing today's show instead. So we were able to bring back the award segment, which Donald and I are definitely looking forward to getting into with you guys. It's been a while with all the other things. Once the trade deadline hit and all that stuff, and just the way the scheduling was going. Unfortunately, that segment took a back burner. But the return, coming off the IL, is the award segment. Don, how are we feeling overall about the series against the St. Louis Cardinals?
Quietly optimistic that we're going to go on a...
That's a good way to put it, bro.
Yeah, quietly optimistic. Like, I think this team is going to pick up some momentum and pick up some wins and secure the wild cards. And we know that the Yankees will be very, very happy about that. They can then put the prices up on their chicken buckets, and then everyone's going to be happy. But no, quietly optimistic. I think this team's going to go on a little bit of a run. They did pretty good. They had some clutch hits against the Cardinals, a lot of clutch hits, and overcame themselves because the Cardinals are not good. They're not a good team. Not by a stretch.
They have some good pieces, though.
Yeah, they're in a rebuild mode.
Yeah.
The only reason why they're even around 500 is purely because they've got good management. Got a good manager, and they got like a good front office and stuff like that. So they made more of that of some of their parts, but they're not a very good roster. Not a good outfit at all. But the Yankees kind of did their business, although they imploded, as we all know that they would. Max Fried really struggled. He had a horrible outing. Will Warren wasn't much better. So we had some issues there, but we overcame it through a lot of clutch hitting. Yep. And it was needed because we had multiple errors the other day as well. So it's not like the Yankees have suddenly changed their identity. They're still, they still don't know how to play baseball, but they had some hitting this series, and it was fun. And listen, man, it's all about Ben Rice and lowkey Jose Caballero, and I'm telling you, man, you might have a new fan in me, Caballero. I'm loving Caballero. Caballero, that's my kind of dude right there, man. An absolute pest. You get him on the base, and he is gonna just steal like mad and cause mayhem. And he's also a really good fielder. I'm a big fan of Caballero, so I like him. And then we'll get into Uncle Ben's Rice very, very soon.
Rice, look, we talked about him the other day. He's been the catalyst for this club so far. But Caballero's been that little spark plug this series. He had a lot of good things going for him. Grisham had a quietly good series.
True.
Him as well. Dominguez, his bat looked like it was starting to come around a little bit. He had that defensive miscue, but it's not his position. But it's neither here nor there with him. We know what we're getting. We just look for glimpses of improvement, and if he's able to get his bat together, I think that is what's going to give him a little more confidence in his overall game. So there are a lot of good things, especially when you're coming off a sweep of the Cardinals, and it's not just it's the Cardinals. this is a team on the uptrend of their rebuild. Because I mean, you look at a guy play like Wynn. Wynn he actually played very well for them this series. He was a kind of a bit of a pain in the ass for the Yankees. So Wynn is somebody that I'm looking forward to keeping an eye on as his career goes on, because I do enjoy seeing players that actually have that that little spark in them. And I think Wynn's going to be one of those guys that's going to be fun to watch. So the Cardinals have something really good going for them. But what the Yankees need to do is they need to take this sweep and have this be that, we keep saying, when are they going to turn it around? When are they going to turn it around? If not now, when? Well, that's what it is. If they can't build off of this and get back on track, because we now have 2 straight series against the AL East with Tampa and then Boston. If we can't gain ground now, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, they have to go on a run. You're right about that. The Cardinals are not like completely like
they're not barren. A trash organization. No.
I like them as an organization. I also like them as a fan base. I thought they were. I thought the way that the fans handled Goldschmidt was great. I was impressed by Pozo. I thought Yoel Pozo had a good series.
Pozo was
good. Yeah. And it's also like really cool what he does for hospitalized kids.
Pages is going to be a good player too.
You're right a lot as well. I mean, and you're spot on about the shortstop. That's a monster arm that shortstop has. It's ridiculous. Anthony Volpe wouldn't dream of having an arm like that. That dude has got an unbelievable arm, an absolute rocket ship. So, no, it was a good test for us, and we came out on top. And I thought that I have a lot of respect for the Cardinals. I think they're a good organization. I love the fact that their fans were very, very cool with Paul Goldschmidt. You know what I mean? They all cheered him. Very, very cool. So you can tell that they're a good fan base, and it's a beautiful stadium. I'd like to visit it one day.
Oh, my friend Paul was there for the series, and he was sending me pictures from the stadium when he got there. And what a ballpark!
Yeah,
and he said the fans knowledgeable, classy.
Yeah,
even though you were with the opposing team, like it was. Basically, he said it's a fan base that you can talk the history of baseball without without the trash talk. You can actually have an intellectual conversation about the history of especially those 2 organizations. Because right behind the Yankees, with their championships, the Cardinals are right.
Well, they're not right there, but they're number 2.
Yeah. So, you can't disrespect it. The history of that organization and that fan base is very knowledgeable. So, no, St. Louis is I wanted to get there myself. That looks like a beautiful ballpark to watch a game at.
Yeah.
We talked about, the history of that park the other day before the series started.
Well, it's a date, Uncle Tats. It's a date, my friend.
Yep. Next time in the States, there might be a road trip involved.
Yeah.
But we'll have the Chronicles invade another stadium somewhere. But listen, it's the one thing in that it's a small, minute thing. And we want to get to the awards. We're going to see. Yeah, we're going to give a few minutes for more people to file in. And we're going to give our roll call in a moment. But there was a statement made. The one thing that really, it was a small, minute thing, but it irked the shit out of me. And that was from the St. Louis broadcast on Judge's home run. And it was the one off the wall. That was hit. And they made a comment that, well, at Yankee Stadium, that would have been 15 rows back. No. The distance is actually shorter in St. Louis than it is in Yankee Stadium.
Oh.
The way the air might carry it may be different. Like that could, that's the way the winds are. I'm like, you kind of missed the moment on that. That was probably one of the worst calls that I've heard this year. Trying to downplay, the impact of that hit from Judge.
I
Where
mean,
all
it's
you want
low.
to do is
It's low.
they're trying to make it about Yankee Stadium and how easy it is for Judge to hit balls out of the park.
It's kind of low hanging fruit now, isn't it? It's like it's very. It's too,
Yeah, as I said, it was a small, minute thing that just pissed me off. I just had to get it off my chest.
It's too simplistic now, just to make fun of Yankee Stadium. I'm gonna make fun of Yankee Stadium in a lot of things, like the jumbotron and the noises and all that stuff. But I mean, the dimensions of the park, I don't care about. I genuinely could not care less because every park has different dimensions. Get used to it. And I mean, it's the same
the
for every
opposing team has just as much opportunity to do it as
Exactly.
anybody else. Yeah,
the other team has 9 shots at it, just like we do.
Yeah.
TC Steels is very much in my wavelength. Nice sweep, but I'm still seeing sloppy baseball. I'm not sold yet that they make a final push. I think that they will make a push and get the wild card, and maybe not even the third, maybe the second. But I'm not convinced they'll do anything in October. That I'm certain about. But for the here and now, I do want to give a sense of optimism in terms of, what we saw some things that you could work with. For instance, Caballero. For instance, Ben Rice. For instance, the clutch hitting. That's some good stuff. If you can keep Stanton on the field and go to Aaron Judge, then you're going to have some offense there. And the pitching, I think will be okay. I'm a little bit concerned about.
I'm actually more nervous about the pitching than the offense at this point.
I'm a little concerned about Max Fried.
Bingo. I don't know what the fuck is going on with him. It's starting to aggravate me a lot.
I think he's hurt, man.
I think so. I do too. I think the blister was a smokescreen. The more I'm watching him pitch, I think that was they were trying to minimize, letting having him skip a start with the All-Star break. I think there's something deeper going on that having to put him on the IL and admit there's an injury, I think would actually be the final nail in the season. Because you can't replace an ace with an ace and then have that ace go down, because Rodon, as solid of a season he's having, and he's been better since that, from the year that he first got here. Do we really, have that much faith in Rodon that he can carry a squad on the rotation? No. He's a complimentary piece, absolutely. But if the Yankees now have to lose Fried for an amount of time, then it's over.
You're right. I think the blister is real. I'm pretty convinced this blister is real, and the Yankees are downplaying it because they don't know how to handle injuries. And I think it's bigger than the Yankees are making out to be. Because if you look at his numbers pre and post All-Star break, it is significant. It's not even there's not even a question about it now. And I mean, we were looking pre All-Star break. Max Fried was almost a lock for the Cy Young. He also probably would have been in the top 5 in the MVP discussions. Yep. He was that good. Pre All-Star break. Post All-Star break, he hasn't had a single good start post All-Star break. And his ERA is skyrocketed. I don't know, man. There's something there. There's something there.
Well, they showed the stat on TV before it started. He's 2-3 since the All-Star break with a 6 ERA. That's terrible.
It's awful. It's awful. And that Cardinals lineup is not good, and they beat up on him.
Yeah.
They really beat up on him. So there's something not there's something not good going on here with Max Fried. I think he'll be okay, but the numbers don't lie. The numbers do not lie, man. 7 earned runs against the Cardinals, 4 earned runs in 5 innings against the Astros, 4 earned runs in 5 innings against Texas, 4 earned runs in 5 innings against Toronto. He's given up too many runs. He's given up far too many runs, and he's really struggling. So his ERA is now skyrocketed from like 1+ to like almost mid-3. So it's real. It's significant. I don't have the answer for it, but I'm pretty convinced that it has something to do with that blister that's affecting the spin rate.
It's grip.
It's affecting his grip and the spin rate and everything on his pitches, and it's all getting a hell of a lot worse. A hell of a lot worse.
Yeah. Well, Donald, I think the time has come. One, let's give out a quick roll call. And hanging out with us this morning on an impromptu Tuesday show. We got FJ hanging out with us. Stephen B. Acevedo, always good to see you in the chat. TC Steels, our guy TC. We got Lou with us as well. John the Beagle Dad. Good morning, everybody. Everybody that's watching, it's very easy. You want to join the chat and chat it up with everybody. It's very easy. Doran, what's going on, Doran? Back. Good to see you back. She heard award. They heard the award ceremony's coming back, and they're like, I'm coming. But no, it's if you do want to join the chat, it's very easy. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button, and you can join the chat.
2+ weeks in southern Lebanon on reserve duty.
Well, we appreciate your service, to your country. It's amazing to do that. So it's very honorable. So with that, Donald,
that's even more honorable that even though he's had to do that for 2+ weeks, he still comes into the Pinstripe Chronicle and he's like, I'm back, guys. That's some badass. That's something badass right there, man. Yeah. I'd be exhausted. I'd be like, I'd be sleeping for a week minimum. Acevedo is coming to a very good point here. Judge will need surgery. Ben is lying about him going back to the field in Tampa Bay. He has been lying a lot, Aaron Boone, specifically about injuries. Max is hurt, and Stanton will be out another 2 games. The Yankees love to lie about their injuries. That's true. They downplay everything because they constantly keep moving the goalpost. They constantly keep moving the goalposts as to Aaron Judge playing the outfield. Oh, he'll be fine the next series. The next series comes. Oh, he'll be fine by the end of the series. The end of the series comes. Oh, he'll be fine by the next series. The next series comes. Oh, okay. There's no time.
It's the freaking truth already.
And now, there's not really a timetable for him to come back. There's something fishy going on. Something's
rotten in the state of Denmark. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there you go. You finally got it right, man. You finally got the analogy right. It's good to hear.
Let's not let it get to my head now. But
we got that one. That was a good lie. Big G, he didn't play the field at all against the Cardinals. That's not
which
a great
we knew
sign.
was going to happen. I'm not surprised.
But he didn't even DH. He didn't even. That's not a great sign. So we got that, and then Max is definitely hurt. Max is definitely hurt. I don't think there's any doubt about it. And Acevedo's even got the RPMs.
Yeah,
his spins are down 200 plus RPMs since his injury. I'm telling you, it's that blister in the middle finger. It's affecting his spin rate and it's affecting his grip. It's not getting the zip and the location like it normally does. because he's hurt, and the Yankees should have allowed it to heal. I'm sorry, a Max Fried at 60% of his abilities is not helping us.
Not good.
It's not good. I'd rather Max Fried at 90, 100%, and they should have just rested him. So, Judge. Oh, I don't know if Judge will need Tommy John surgery, but who knows? The Yankees lie. Teron does say that Judge might be going under the knife. Oh my God! There you go. It's not good. It's not good. But at least we got a sweep. We've not had a sweep in a while, so I don't want to bog down the show with a lot of negativity. Trying to stay positive, even if it's really difficult to stay positive with this organization. You know what? I do want to get Uncle Tat's thoughts on Brian Cashman's comments, because obviously I did a full hour, 45 minutes just destroying Brian Cashman. Shout out to Lynn. I thought Lynn and Sierra broke down the things that Cashman said very, very well. So shout out to them at the upper deck. Absolutely doing a good job there on Sundays. Tats, I don't know if you read the full transcript of everything that Brian Cashman said.
I have the gist of it, but I'm gonna let's get to the awards because
all right, we'll get to the awards, and then what I'll do for Brian Cashman's benefit, I'm gonna read out his quote in full and allow Uncle Tats to have his feelings because we've not got Tats' views yet on Brian Cashman.
No, and I have views, but let's read it out.
So, all right, let's get into the awards. We've not done the awards in a while. Let's bring it back. So everybody get your pens and pencils ready, and we will get fired in to the series awards. It's a comeback. The comeback is on. It's been a while. It's cool.
Yep.
Back from the IL, back from vacation. The Yankees awards for the series. So let's do it. Let's go with the MVP. Don't think there'll be too much of a discussion about this. Has to be Ben Rice. Has to be.
Absolutely.
Ben Rice. Uncle Sats.
No, it's Ben Rice. I mean, a 7 RBI game. I mean, that's insane. Going from catcher, first baseman, wherever you want him. We talked about it at length the other day, but yeah, Ben Rice has been he had one hell of a series.
Unbelievable series. And yeah, we'll need to break down more about Ben Rice before the end of the show, because that's the title of the show. So we should get stuck into some Ben Rice talk. I'm loving Ben Rice. I'm very happy for him. God, Duran. If that was true, then they are really stupid. I'm very happy for Ben Rice. Yeah. He's our catcher. His numbers are ridiculous. So his baseball savant page is just like reds everywhere. It's freaking unbelievable. It's an invasion of reds. His baseball savant page is basically the American flag, right, right behind me. It's just all reds. This is basically red stripes, right, all the way down. So yeah, loving Ben Rice. 7 RBIs in the game is ridiculous, and that's not even his record. It's tied for his personal record for most ribbies in a game. So Ben Rice is the man. And as you say, man, it doesn't matter where you play him. DH, catcher, first. He continues to devour.
He's having a phenomenal season.
Oh yeah, man. He's the guy. He's the guy.
He's the true 22. That's what we're
and he's doing this. And he's continuing to show that he might be one of the most important Yankees that we have. Most consistent, most important. He's right there. He should be untouchable. So the idea that if the Yankees were close to trading him, then they're out of their minds. But nothing surprised me about Brian Cashman. Anyway, let's go with the fans. Stevie B does have Rice. Anyone else in the chat? Where do you think was the MVP? I'm pretty sure you guys are all in agreement on that. Let's go with a low-key MVP. We can have some discussion there. For me, it's Caballero. It's Caballero. He might be my future boy blue. Like, I'm a fan of I'm an old school fan, right? I'm an old school fan. I don't get starstruck by big home runs or anything like that. I love plucky old school players. I love that shit because that was old school. He's kind of old school because he's ridiculous on the field. I like that. He's fast as shit. I like that. And he's someone that you would hate to face but love to have on your team. And that's something that's kind of old school about him. And he's just a type that, he doesn't have big power numbers. I'm not a big guy I don't really give a fuck about exit velo or any of that shit. I love someone that just gets on base, and when they get on base, it's like his office where he can just steal for fun and then cause mayhem on the base pass. I mean, he forced that error in the final game where we broke through. He forced that error just because of his crazy speed, and it rushed the fielding, and then he threw it away. He forced that. It was his crazy speed that forced that, and that's why I think that he's someone that actually. I think he was a low-key MVP this series. Every good thing that happened from the Yankees, a lot of it started with Caballero. So I'm kind of excited about him. Plus, he's a better shortstop than Anthony Volpe, so suck it, Anthony. I like Caballero. I like Caballero a lot. But Stevie B is going Bednar.
Not a bad option. Didn't hate on that one.
Bednar basically saved every game because the Yankee bullpen is desperate to implode. It can't wait to implode until Bednar comes in and goes, guys, I got this. Crushes a couple of beers and then throws some strikes and then goes home. That's what he does. It's pretty good. I'm liking Bednar. Bednar looks like a very good pickup. It looks like the 2-star pickups from the Yankees at the deadline.
Caballero and
Caballero.
Yeah, Bednar. Yeah.
That's it.
The jury's still out on I'm still Duvall's falling out of favor, but I don't know if he's just still in that adjustment period.
I don't know how much more do you need to fucking adjust?
Yeah, he's really falling out because we were hyped. We were excited about that.
I thought he was going to be our closer, man. The guy throws 101 mile an hour cutters and fastballs. But for me, I don't think the Yankees are using him right. I think they don't know how to use him yet. You know what? I'm going to say it. He's getting yankified. He's getting yankified. Duval got yankified by the Yankees because he is not this bad. He looks horrible. And the Yankees are like, right, throw your worst pitch. Yeah, let's go. It's the Yankees. I'm not blaming Duval.
Yeah, malfeasance.
Malfeasance and yankified. There we go. Anyway.
My low-key...
Probably right. Who's your low-key, Uncle Tess?
My low-key, I had Grisham. I thought he had a quietly good series. With all the other, there was a lot of excitement to go around. But Grisham, with Caballero, I don't want to downplay what he did. But Grisham he's been probably one of our more consistent players throughout the year. So I think that Grisham needs a little love in this one with the sweep.
I agree with that. That's a good one. Let's go with the Clutch Award, and that is what I'm giving to Trent Grisham. That man was clutch this series. Every hit was clutch. So, Trent, very clutch series. Very clutch home run to win a game. He's having an unbelievable year. I think he's gonna get a lot of money. He's gonna get a lot of money in the offseason. He deserves it. This is a hell of a walk year for Trent Grisham, a career year.
Walk year. That's a good point.
He's gonna get a ton of money from somewhere. It may not be the Yankees. Probably out of our price range.
The way he's playing, that's actually a strong possibility. But
I don't know if it'll be the Yankees, but some team in the National League is going to pay a lot of money. I'm not going to say the name because you don't want to see me angry, but Grisham is going to get money, methinks, for I can't say the name. I hate that guy too much. But I do love Trent Grisham, so that's why I can't have him being used in the same sentences. So, Trent Grisham's awesome, and he's clutch as fuck. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's Lynn. What's going on, Lynn?
Lynn,
check it.
We gave you a shout out earlier. I gave you a shout out because I liked your last show. I said that a lot of your comments with Brian Cashman were spot on. So you're doing a great job there on Sundays.
Yeah, and also the show with Spencer yesterday was freaking amazing. Make sure you go and check that out. It's we all like our history, especially when you play like we talked about before. With the way that the history resonates with these two franchises. They have the Histories and Heroes show on the off nights with Lynn and Spencer. Make sure you check that out. Listen, my clutch. I went back to Rice. He had that series where when you grab, he grabbed the man, he grabbed Boone by the balls and says, "Don't you can't sit me now.
Grabbed it by the balls.
You put me in this line. You put me in this lineup, and I will come through for you." Like that was that series he had, and I'm really, I want Rice long term so I can go and get a jersey of him. And I'm not a jersey guy, but I would, Ben Rice is one of those. He would be on the list for a jersey.
Yeah. I'm slowly becoming not a jersey guy because every time I get a jersey, bad thing happens to that player.
You got to get the jersey, not the jersey.
But Ben Rice is a guy that I love, and I don't love a lot of players on this team because I've got a lot of issues with this team and their mentality and their softness. It starts with the front office and then the manager and the captain. But Ben Rice is a guy that I do love. I think he's freaking great. I love that he just keeps getting better, and that's what I like to see. So now you have a Ben Rice. Well, no, because if you watch episode if you watch the episode when Soto did sign for the Mets, you would know that I cut it up with scissors and threw it out the window. So
do you remember when we were at the stadium together? We saw the one guy that had he put the duct tape over Soto's name.
That's another way of doing it. That was probably a more cost-effective way of doing it than I did. Let's go with the next award. I think it's a pitching award now. That I am definitely giving to Bednar. Bednar is putting this team on his back. Is putting the pitching staff and the bullpen on his back. No matter what, he's just like, I got you guys. He's just comes in, throws strikes, gets outs, and goes home. Freaking
Yeah,
cool, dude.
I have Bednar as well. He just came in and he's he could have also won the Clutch Award. For coming in those games. The Yankees needed to start winning games, and the bullpen needed to start locking it down, and he's done that. He has been the trade that's as advertised. So I think that he slid right into the atmosphere of the Bronx very well. He's adapted almost flawlessly. So excited for. I think it was his first outing after the trade when the Yankees decided to shove all their new toys down our throat. After that, he's been fine. So Bednar is really. I don't think we win that series. Never mind the sweep without Bednar on the hill.
I mean, could you imagine if we didn't bring in Bednar? The Yankees would be like. The Yankees would be completely out of the playoffs because their bullpen's imploded if it's not for this guy. Unbelievable. Luka! Salute, man.
Also, Jonathan sneaking in. What's going on,
Jonathan in there. What's going on, Jonathan? No early bird for Jonathan. Stevie B's the early bird.
No, I think we threw everybody off. We threw myself off. I didn't even know what freaking day of the week it was.
You didn't know what day it was. But what happened yesterday?
A lot of hell happened yesterday. Rob's schedule wasn't didn't allow him to be.
Mark Gates, Caballero should be our new starting shortstop. Yes. I agree.
Mark. I like that one. Put a star on that one, Donald.
All right. Star has been made. Star has been born. You're right. I love Caballero. I don't know if you just joined us, but a few minutes ago, I was saying that Caballero is my kind of player. He's kind of old school. It's about contact, getting on base, and then raising hell on the base paths. Plus, he's a ridiculously good fielder. So he's got a much better arm, much better shortstop than Volpe. And it's fast as shit. Holy fuck. Just electric speed. And that's
like
the
kind of speed on the bases made that whole inning unravel.
I'm going to rip. I spent the whole show on Saturday ripping Brian Cashman for his disgraceful comments. But I'll tell you what. I love the Caballero trade. That was pure fuckery. It was like, I'm going to make that trade just because I can. Just to piss off the Rays. And he did it. And he got him for absolute steal. That's the type of player. But the Yankees need to utilize him. I don't give Aaron Boone credit for anything, let alone much. But the fact that he utilized Caballero 3 straight games was great. Keep doing it. But I'm sure you won't. I'm sure you won't be playing today. But he should be. In fact, he should be our shortstop. And it's Luca's birthday. So everyone in the chat, please wish my bro Luca a very happy birthday. Feels good to be 22. Oh, that's Ben Rice's number. But yeah, man, happy 22nd, my guy.
Yes.
Many blessings to you and the family. Look forward to seeing you soon. So happy birthday to my guy, and everyone in the chat, please wish Luca a happy birthday.
Yep. So what's the which award you want to tackle next?
Okay. Stevie B. Lane channel, you guys are right. That's the next award. What was the next award? We're done pitching.
Is it the L or Boone? Which one do you want to do next?
Oh, okay. Aaron Boone.
Okay.
Let's go Aaron Boone out of 10. I need to try and be fair about this, because if I combined the previous month of awards that we didn't do because the Yankees were so bad that I couldn't possibly do in awards, he would be like on minus 100, minus 1,000, minus 10,000. But on this particular series, he did kind of well. I think he managed the bullpen pretty well. He had Caballero in there. He even benched Volpe, which was, thank you, which was beautiful. So there's not a lot that I can really pinpoint going, well, he got that wrong. As I say, previous series, then he'd be on minus a zillion. But this one, I can't give him. I'm never going to give him a 9 or a 10 for the rest of his career as a Yankee manager, but I will give him an 8. Solid 8. 8 out of 10. Good for him. That's incredible for him. And it'll never be as high as that again for the rest of his time as a Yankee manager.
Yeah, I couldn't.
But 8 out of 10 for a very good series. Uncle Ty.
Look, I wanted to just go middle of the road. I was going to go with 5. I actually upped it to a 7.
Yeah.
Just because of Volpe being on the bench and giving Caballero a game. To me, that was the deciding factor. Even though he did sweep a team, the way that he's been running this shit show of the season, I think the automatic 10 on a sweep is still in suspension. I can't bring myself to do it. So,
CVP.
Yep. Oh, jeez. Well, no, we understand that he didn't bench Volpe, but he kind of let him get the day off. And it's not something that Boone is comfortable doing. He doesn't like his boy not playing in the game. So that made me give him a little bit higher than a 5. I went with 7.
Believe that the biggest Aaron Boone hater in the world, which is me, gave him the highest number. Gave him the highest grade out of 10. That's hilarious.
What's wrong with that?
I guess that's it shows that I call it as I see it, and
well, we're not here to bullshit anybody.
Otherwise, even though I'm ridiculously biased against him, and I guarantee he's one of the worst managers in the whole of the world. In the world, not just in baseball, but the entire world, he's one of the worst managers. I do think that he managed a good series, so 8 out of 10. Good for him. I think Stevie B is getting. Do you think Stevie B is getting like?
There's one way to find out. Hold on.
Someone's hacking my boy Stevie B. Yeah, I think someone actually hacked.
Somebody actually made I wasn't sure if he was just kidding. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Lynn. At first, when he said that he was, somebody created an account, I thought he was kind of joking. Then I'm watching more of the comments come.
Oh,
I'm like,
wow! I'm wondering what was going on. I thought you were kidding with us, man. But
yeah, okay. No,
we
got you now,
man. He's had a rough time of it. Dude's recovering from COVID, and he's on about this shit. Damn that asshole! Right.
Don't worry, Steve. We got you back.
Thank you, Lynn. Appreciate it. Good job. Me and Uncle Tats are slow on the uptake, so I didn't realize what was going on. I just thought,
yeah,
I didn't realize. All right, so we got the Aaron Boone stuff out of the way. Let's go with the L. Uncle Tats, who's your L?
I'm sorry. We always talk about, we call it as we see it. My L's going to Fried. You might be dealing with an issue with your grip, your blister, or whatnot. You are at this point, you're not helping the team by keeping it to yourself. You're supposed to be the ace to kind of save the ace that's already on the IL. So Fried, you gotta start turning it around this half of the season. I need to see some of that first half Fried. Because right now you're in the doghouse.
I agree with you. Max Fried gets the L. I don't think there's any question about it. He's in a terrible run of form. I don't know how much it's him and rather it's the Yankees management of his injuries. But as I say, if you're able to play every day or every 5 days,
the results. Yeah.
Then the results are what matter. So I have to grade you on your results, and your results have been very, very bad. He's not had a good start since the All-Star break, and that's pretty hard to do. So he very much gets the L. I don't think there's any question about it. So definitely Fried is getting the L. Let's go with the Aaron Hicks Award. We brought him back. Aaron Hicks.
Oh, boy.
There is that disgusting individual. There he is. The Aaron Hicks Award. Uncle Tats, who gets your Aaron Hicks Award?
Well, this one should come as no shock. My Aaron Hicks Award goes to the guy that brought him over and gave him a contract. And that is Brian Cashman. Stop fucking gaslighting the fans. You are not helping yourself. I am just so sick and tired of all of this. Just, do you read the room at all? You keep saying how much you understand your fan base. You don't. He has no clue what emotional ups and downs we go through during a season. His ups and downs determine whether he can make it to his next check or not. Are they going to answer the phone if I call them to make a move? Because the league's passed him by. So it's to steal a line from Boone, because the league did pass him by. He is not the great GM anymore. He's solid. I'm not saying he's a total disaster for the organization, but when you make statements like this, it's like, what the fuck do you think before you speak? I don't. But I'm not the GM of the Yankees. I'm a host on a fun podcast that talks baseball. I can have days where I misspeak. I do it all the time.
I'm gonna get the full quote for you, right? So you
read
keep
the quote.
ranting, I'm gonna get the full quote.
Let's show them the steam coming out of my ears. And where'd he go?
All right, let's get the full quote here.
There we go. I'm like, where'd he
There
go?
we go. Because it is a doozy. It is a freaking doozy, man. So yeah, you keep ranting, man, while I get the article up.
Yeah. One thing I do want to say, like with Cashman, it's sometimes it's better not to just not speak. Maybe that's what you should have just done, which is keep your mouth shut. Take a page from your owner's book who went into hiding. And just go ahead, Donald.
Here's this full thing here, right? So, Chris Kirchner said that there's one area that incensed the Yankee fan base was Boone not holding players accountable, right? So obviously the Jazz Chisholm stuff, Volpe stuff, Wells stuff, Dominguez, blah, blah, blah. We know it. There's been a million examples of them, right? Here's what Brian Cashman said to that. One thing that people maybe really forget is that we play in a market that holds you more accountable automatically. The market already provides accountability. And this is where it's great. In many cases, today's world is so much different than generations before. I think leaders, managers, coaches are more inclined to try and support and help players that are going through a lot as they try to navigate struggles. Struggles are louder in a bigger market. I'm not an advocate of becoming Randy Macho Man Savage or John Cena from WWE and providing a power drive to finish off the victim. The victim being someone struggling at the plate, struggling defensively, struggling on the mound. And now you're hearing it externally. and their family and friends are all hearing it. Then internally, they're hearing it. Now they're getting piled up on. In many cases, you've got to understand what the atmosphere is like. Fucking.
But what about the atmosphere in the stands that we're all spending our fucking hard-earned money to watch shit? Play baseball over and over again. And players making mistakes over and over again with no accountability. What about that?
Vomiting and juicing fucking Gen Z garbage. All right. Here's the stuff about Aaron Boone. I don't know how any market, let alone a manager in a big market like New York. Speaking of Aaron Boone, I've told him so many times how does he do these pre and post games and navigates them so easily on a daily basis. It takes a talent in his own right to try to walk through that without losing your cool or getting emotional. He stayed level-headed and even keeled. He knows how tough this sport is. He's invested in these guys heavily, trying to explain away a difficult play or a bad performance. Oh, and he stays so cool, calm, and collected. He's done an amazing job. I know I couldn't do that. I probably would be creating more regretful comments. What, like these? I think it takes a certain character and ability to try to manage a group of 26 guys. Well, that's your fucking job. You're the manager. Especially in a big market through these difficult times. And then
Run me a fucking river.
I know. And then he says he doesn't really worry about sound bites because they get judged radically out there by our fans.
Yes, we did. Yeah, absolutely.
Fucking
That's
prick.
a true statement. We tear him apart every time he speaks because he insults us.
Exactly. And then the final bit was
what are we supposed to do? Thanks for showing me the light. I guess I'm the fucking moron.
Yeah,
because
that's
I
what
don't
it
see
is.
the big
It's
picture.
us. We're the morons. We're the morons.
I'm sorry, Cashman. I didn't know you had so much pressure on you.
Oh, what about how? Oh, it must be so hard to be a Yankee player these days. Oh God,
I know, with those big fucking paychecks. Yeah, I don't know how.
Yeah, the big paychecks and playing for the greatest organization in the world, playing the sport that you grew up loving. Yeah, and being one of the very few that's privileged enough to be a New York Yankee must be absolutely heartbreaking. Hearing it from fans and the media, and fucking violins. What a prick. All right, here we go. As for the situation we're in, we're the defending American League champs, trying to redefend that. Obviously, right now, we're not in control of the division. Our first goal is to try to win the American League East and automatically punch the ticket that way. If not, we'll be fighting to punch the ticket a different way. That's not to say the thing is, we have a lot of time on our clock, but also not enough time at the same time.
You got 38 games to figure it out.
He literally said that. We have a lot of time on the clock, but not enough time at the same time.
What the fuck does that mean?
The fuck does that mean?
At that point, I heard I heard the whole thing with the wrestling reference. Like that was the one that had me shaking my head.
And this is so much worse, isn't it? This stuff that I'm reading out is just blah. And then finally he says, I don't want you guys to think that we're not urgent, because we are.
No, you're not. What urgency?
Uncle Tats, let it rip, my guy. Let it fucking rip.
What urgency? You went into the offseason with no fucking third baseman. You had your ace go down. You sat on your hands, is hoping that everything was going to come together. You put in Fried. You had a great first half. No harm, no foul. But where's you can't develop a catcher for your own team. You're lucky you have Ben Rice. Otherwise, you'd really be in even more trouble. I can't. Boone he went on that show, and the day that the moment they started really attacking him on decisions, he threw a hissy fit. So he's so good on being on the mic? No, he's not. Because all he does is and he's looking around. He's doing this in the press conference because he's trying to remember what management wants him to say. Which is why he's got that the fucking label of a puppet. Cashman, you created this.
Yes,
you created this whole mess.
He did.
You went in half-assed. You had no competition for shortstop. The guy that actually was able to play shortstop, you just completely shit on. And he's not even with the team anymore with Peraza. You relied on DJ. You know, as soon as he came off the IL, you had to shove him, right into the spotlight, and threw the whole chemistry off tilt. Because that's really, if you go back, DJ coming off the IL in June is when everything went off the fucking rails. That's when everything, because all the chemistry started going out of whack. Another big thing that reason why everything went out of whack is also, losing Cabrera. We all forget about Pereira. When Oswald went down with that terrible injury.
But what about what he's saying? But what about what he was saying about the media and the fans automatically holding players accountable so that basically he doesn't have to?
Well, we shouldn't be doing the job for him. But, of course, we're going to voice our opinion. We're a fucking sports fan. We're a Yankee fan. When they're playing well, we praise them. When they're playing like shit, we're gonna judge them on that. Same thing goes for the manager. Same thing goes for the GM. Same thing goes for the owner. Everybody, the whole organization from top to bottom, fans will treat equally. If you're doing a good job, we're gonna praise you. When you're doing a crap job, we're gonna shit on you. Sorry, that's just the way it is. We don't trash Cashman any more than we would Bone, any more than we would Volpe, any more than we did when we had Hicks or Donaldson. Everybody got crapped on the same, fairly, by all the fans, by us. When they're playing well, then they get shows dedicated to them.
Well, my Aaron Hicks award is exactly the same. It's on Brian Cashman. If you guys want my full views on his comments, check out my show on Saturday. I do recommend it. I really go into depth about really the troubling signs that is. But I will sum up my views on it this way. It's an insult to our intelligence because Brian Cashman is putting more stock in Aaron Boone protecting the players from us, the fans and the media, than he is in finding a manager that can win championships. That's good at handling the bullpen, good at managing situations, good at developing players. He's not interested in that. What he's interested in is a puppet to him because he's got a gigantic ego, and also someone that can protect the players from the big bad media and the big bad evil fans, the idiot fans that pay hard-earned money to watch your product. And that's where the issue is. Brian Cashman, in a very unsubtle way, has basically told everyone. So everyone watching, Brian Cashman has just told you that your opinions don't matter and that you guys are idiots. He's told everyone that does a podcast, everyone, us, all the other shows, you guys are idiots. That's what he's basically told us. He is. He's told us that. Why? Because he's just basically said that the big bad fans and the big market pile on players, and that's their job to comfort them through their hard times and struggles. And that's what it's about. Oh, wow. That's what the big problem is. He has basically declared war against the fans, and he's been doing this for a long, long time, because in my show, I also read out a quote from 2022 where he talked about perception versus reality after they got beat in 2022. Remember when they embarrassed themselves in the playoffs in 2022? And then he said perception versus reality. The perception is that we underperformed, but the reality is we had a hell of a run at it. But it's just the way that the Yankee fans are, right? Now, fast forward, he's blaming us again, you know, and he has to protect and coddle our players because they can't handle the big market because our fans are so cruel to the players. It's all just excuses. And Brian Cashman's already set up his excuse to protect the players and to protect him and to protect Aaron Boone for essentially when they fail in the postseason. They've got that excuse lined up for them that it's the big bad market. It's embarrassing and it's an insult. The thing is, you can find a player's manager that takes care of the players, but also holds players accountable, also develops prospects, and also knows how to handle a bullpen and manage situations better and manage fundamentals better. You can have that. And by the way, we had that in 2017. He fired that. So I don't want to hear any more nonsense from Brian Cashman because he is a liar. He's blaming us for their own shit that they've caused. He keeps mentioning the storm that the fan base causes. You caused the storm. Your lack of fundamentals, your lack of accountability, your lack of understanding, your lack of championships since 2009. They've won one championship. They've won one championship in like 20 plus years. And it's the fans that are at fault?
Yeah.
Oh, folks, you got $300 million to spend every single year. Every single year. You've had $300 plus million to spend over each of those 20 plus years, and you can't find one championship in there? Mofo, it's you that's caused this shit, not us. We're on your side. What he forgets is that we're on his side. We want the Yankees to succeed. By Christ, why would we create the Pinstripe Chronicles if we weren't supporting the Pinstripes? We want the Pinstripes to succeed. So this idea that the fans are like, oh, I hate this guy. Oh, I'm going to go and type. It's so fucking absurd. And it's an insult. And we deserve better. And by the way, what did Derek Jeter call us on the Jumbotron at Old Timers Day? He said we're the best fans in the world.
Not according to the GM.
The fans. Brian Cashman fucking hates us. So you know what? I appreciate Derek Jeter. And fuck you, Brian Cashman. Fuck you.
Because Brian Cashman and the rest of the Yankees front office, and Hal's no innocent in this either. The narrative for year after year after year, and it started with George. If you don't win a championship, it's a failed season. That narrative has been drilled into now 2 generations or more, even 3 generations of Yankee fans. That if you do not hoist that World Series trophy, the whole season was a failure. It doesn't matter. You're going to be gone undefeated and then lost in the World Series. Then you'll still be talked about it highly, but they didn't win it all. It would be the Patriots all over again against the Giants. They were that close to having that perfect season. Everybody talks about the Giants overcoming the obstacle, not how great the Patriots season was. It was how they couldn't finish the job. That's why we get on the Yankee organization so much. We're tired of it. Finish the job. If I'm Hal, And I look, no wonder why he doesn't want to expand the payroll. Look how Cashman's wasting his fucking money.
Yeah.
No, he wants to cut payroll. I don't blame him anymore. Well, you can't do it with 300. I'm not giving you more. That's just stupid. That's really dumb.
Every single season, we're multiple positions short going into a year. We didn't have a third baseman this year. Last year, we didn't have a left fielder. Last year, we didn't really have a first baseman either. And so, yeah, this idea that it's the fans that are like basically meaning all this stuff, it's absurd when he doesn't do the job. Joe Kelly was right. Jeter doesn't want anything to do with this weak loser mentality the Yankees have now. That's right. And the only reason why they have this weak loser mentality is only just to protect jobs. And that's the thing. I think Brian Cashman really genuinely cares about the New York Yankees and winning championships and all that stuff. No. He did 20 years ago, but at this stage, he just wants to keep his job. Because if it was really, truly about the best interests of the New York Yankees, he would put his ego aside, his ginormous ego, and get back to what it used to be before he changed the entire philosophy of the organization. The thing is, we're not asking for anything like crazy, okay? And the only thing I'm asking for is a manager that, yes, does his job and makes sure that the players are looked after, right? That's your job of your manager. You got to make sure to treat them individually as individuals. I understand that. Some might need a little bit more care than others, and that's the job of the manager to treat them all individually. So, yes, we need a manager with people skills. That's a fact. But we also need a manager that is smart, is prepared, and is good at fundamentals. Get them drilled on fundamentals, hold them accountable when required. Maybe not even in public, but certainly behind the scenes, drill them the fuck. Sort out the fundamental errors. If they do something stupid, bench them. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that you need as a manager. And that manager that can handle a bullpen. The media stuff, I mean, it's overblown. Brian Cashman's overblown this whole media stuff. I don't really necessarily care. But, have some kind of skills with the media, I guess. But it's not difficult to do it. By the way, Girardi basically did 90%, 99% of everything I just said right there. He held people accountable. He was incredibly prepared, very, very smart, and he was very good at development and held people accountable in order to get the best out of them, not to be mean. And no, he didn't have this big pally philosophy that Aaron Boone's got right now. It doesn't do this kumbaya fucking Barney the Friendly Dinosaur stuff that Aaron Boone does. He had an atmosphere of, you got to win. It's the New York Yankees, because Joe Girardi's a genuine fan of the Yankees and he wants the Yankees to succeed. That he had that. And by the way, he had really good coaches. He had Rob Thompson. He had Pena, guys that are very good at development. Rob Thompson ran spring training. So we actually had a very good coaching staff in 2017. And did it work? Well, yeah, I would say it kind of worked because Gary Sanchez was the best he ever was. It helped Aaron Judge push him through the development process once he reached the majors. 2017 was our most productive in terms of development of our prospects, right? And that was with Joe Girardi, Rob Thompson, Pena, and the coaching staff of the 2017 coaching staff. But it wasn't enough for Brian Cashman because Brian Cashman doesn't want that. He doesn't want the best interests of the New York Yankees. He wants the best interests to him. Yep. He wanted to be the all-powerful GM. He wanted to be the GM that pulls the puppet strings. So he needed a manager that's a yes man, and he needed a manager that coddles the players, and he needed someone that was just going to be a yes man to the analytics and Mike Fishman. That's what he needed. That's his priority. Increased Brian Cashman's contracts. Now Brian Cashman has very, very cushy contracts. And now it doesn't really matter who you have as a manager. Heck, he just hired some bum from ESPN to be a manager. So that was Brian Cashman's philosophy. Got rid of Rob Thompson, who's now a star manager in Philadelphia. Got rid of all their coaching staff, who are all doing a good job wherever they're going. And he's hired a bunch of fucking bums to spread the word of his analytics. And guess what? Have the Yankees won anything since he made those moves in 2018? Nothing. All the excuses in the world, blame the Toronto fucking turf, blame the wind, blame the Astros, fucking Astrodome, blame fucking anything. Blame exit velo, blame fucking anything you want. Blame the fans. Blame the fans. Blame Jay Hatt. Blame anybody you can fucking think of. Still comes down to the fact you've won nothing since you made all those moves in 2018. You've changed the philosophy of the franchise and made them worse. You've not developed anyone since 2018. You've developed nobody. Ben Rice has done it because he's got Aaron Judge's hitting coach. You've developed nobody. Anthony Volpe is so much worse now than he was in AAA. Austin Wells is so much worse now than he was in AAA. You can't develop fucking shit. That's you. Peraza, so much worse in the majors than he was in AAA. Now he's gone for pennies on the dollar when you could have traded him for top value a year or so ago. He can't develop anyone. You're useless at development. Jason Dominguez is massively out of position, and he's playing like shit lately. That's because of you. You can't develop anyone. That's because of you. You can't develop with your terrible coaching staff. It's because of Aaron Boone. He's useless. That's you. It's not the fans' fault. The organization is completely malfunctioning, and it's not the fans' fault. It's your fault, and you're not accountable to it. So I'll hold you damn accountable.
Yeah, it's I'll wrap up with this, right? You said he's a people person. No, he's not. He's a people pleaser. A people person understands the balance of trying to boost somebody along, but then when they get when they need to be put back in line, you can be you can hold them accountable, and not have to go crying into their fucking cereal in the morning, or crying on mommy's shoulder that the coach yelled at me. It's like enough, man up. These guys, I can't. I've had enough stress over the last couple of days. I've said what I've had to say. I've already lost my mind. Once already. It's Cashman. You created this. All this narrative that you're complaining about is your own creation because of why, like Donald said, your ego doesn't allow you to step back and see the damage you have done. We want every offseason. As fans, we rally around you to make these moves. If you make a move that we're all hyped up about, we come on here and we're like, Cashman had a great offseason. Well, Cashman killed it at the deadline. Well, look at these guys that Cashman's bringing up to the major league level. Oh my God, this is going to be great. If it doesn't work, you got to, we're going to give you the other side of it. Because you've put in the only thing that you've put in full force is the owner's money with zero result. And we're tired of it. So you're going to keep having these problems. You're going to keep having problems with us fans.
The thing is, it's not about slaughtering Brian Cashman because I genuinely think he's pretty good at his job. Like in terms of signing players, in terms of making trades and stuff, he's pretty good at that stuff. Like, it's not like he's like a completely incompetent general manager. It's his ego, which is continually the problem. It's his major flaw. It's his ego. Because all he has to do is just have a good manager in charge, and the Yankees would probably win championships. Like, this is a good roster. He's built a good roster. He had a fairly good deadline. He's brought in good players. This is a decent roster. It's capable of winning championships if he had a good management structure in there and a good, tough manager in there. But he won't do it because of his ego. And that's what it comes down to.
We were at the stadium to get the day of the trade deadline. We put a video out after the Duvall trade. How fucking thrilled we were!
Yeah,
like we were like, all right, Cashman's doing something. We were all hyped up, and then you threw him into. Then the decision was to put him into a game before he had his uniform on. It's like
I mean,
you created he's created the narrative that's pissing us all off. But he also can create narrative that gets us hyped up about him. It's all in his. It's he creates his own destiny.
That's it. I mean, the thing is, he's pretty good at his job, but he's hiring a manager who's terrible at his job. So it's still down to Brian Cashman, and that's the problem. If he just had a decent manager in charge, like if he had Joe Girardi in there, this Yankee team probably would have won some championships. Joe Girardi did his job. Aaron Boone doesn't. It's as pretty simple as that. And by the way, I wanted to give an award for Joe Girardi in the booth. I don't know if you listened to any of his telecasts.
I caught some of it the other day. They actually were really good in the booth.
Dude, he's crazy, man, because he kept saying shit like for instance, when Dominguez was up and it was a 3-0 count and Dominguez hadn't had a hit yet for weeks at that point. He goes, I think this would be a good opportunity for Dominguez to swing here because he's going to get a pitch he can handle and it might give him some confidence. Boom, next pitch, RBI single. And I was like, fucking hell. He's like, yeah, I kind of like my players to, when they're slumping, to swing at 3-0 to get their confidence up because he knows that they can handle, they know they're going to get a pitch they can handle. I was like, fucking hell. And then there was a time where there was a wheel play, and he's like, we shouldn't be bunting here because there's a wheel play.
I remember that one.
And then the Yankees bunted, and he's like, kind of told you. And then he was just like, he was on top of shit, man. He was like, yeah, I don't like this. We shouldn't be doing that.
Why were you bunting there with him anyway?
It was crazy. Joe Girardi knows shit. And I'm glad I can get to say this now because Rob fucking hates him for whatever reason. So I can say this shit. Joe Girardi is a very well-prepared man. He knows his shit. He's a baseball savant. He's unbelievably prepared. And he sees things before they actually happen, anticipates things, which is what you need as a manager. Aaron Boone does none of that. He's unprepared. He doesn't anticipate the most obvious shit that even me and you can fucking see. He doesn't anticipate these things. He doesn't have that kind of foresight as a manager. Joe Girardi in the booth was just like, I don't think they should be doing that. They did it, and he was like, I kind of told you. It's just like, you know what I mean? And then it was just like he was batting 1,000. He was batting 1,000 at one point. Ryan Rucco just turns to him and is like, Jesus, they need to give you the Emmy right now. Like, because everything that he said came to fruition. Wild. And so that was for Lynn's benefit as well, because Lynn's a big Joe Girardi fan.
I like Joe Girardi. I thought, I'm on the record. I thought it was time to make a move. I would have given him one more year. I would have I wouldn't have gotten rid of him after that postseason.
Yeah.
But that's at this point, that's neither here nor there. The history is what it is. But
got Sunil in the chat. Good to see Sunil.
He's a victim of soft players like changing the complaint. Yeah. I mean, Girardi, that is one thing Girardi did was hold players accountable.
Yep.
And
by the way, he was right about Gary Sanchez because has Gary Sanchez done anything since?
Nope.
So he was right.
Yeah. And so I think the Yankees screwed him up. So he was so far gone when they moved on from him. There was no team that was going to write that shit.
No, you're right. No. I'm not saying that I wouldn't have.
Sanchez could have had he had all the stuff to have like a Cal Raleigh year like he's having this year. Like that should be a Sanchez level season.
Oh, John the Beagle Dad. Better late than never, but you should watch the replay, man. We went to town.
Yeah, we're just about to
we
are about to sign on here. But
we had a full rant session with Brian Cashman. Now we're talking about Joe Girardi. Karma is a boomerang. Well, we're getting what we deserve by firing him and not hiring at least a manager like a Rob Thompson. I wasn't completely opposed to moving on from Girardi, but it would have needed to have been an upgrade. At minimum, would have needed to have been a Rob Thompson or someone who's a genuine upgrade with experience, but we didn't do that. We went with some bum from ESPN that hit one home run for the Yankees, very luckily, from a knuckleball. Otherwise, he would have done nothing in his career as a Yankee. And that was Aaron Boone. So, completely there was no one, Tony Pena, exactly. I love Tony Pena. Aaron Boone had no qualifications to be Yankee manager.
No, he had a home run. That's all he did.
He had one home run, and it was from a knuckleball that he luckily could catch up to.
Go back in time and just take that home run away and just.
Yeah, that's it, Duron. He's right. The Yankees made a mistake, but the thing is, we don't need to keep looking back in the past. If Brian Cashman admitted to his mistake, but as I say, he's very good at the transactional side of his job, but when it comes to putting his ego aside and realizing when he makes a mistake, he can't do it. He can't realize he makes a mistake because he's got such a big ego, and that's why the Yankees have not moved on. He could have quickly moved on from the Aaron Boone mistake after 2-3 years. He could have, after his contract was up, we could have moved on and we'd been fine. But he's not done it because his ego is too huge that he's had to give Aaron Boone multiple extensions without earning it. He's not done anything to earn it.
Yeah.
And it's a shame. And it doesn't make sense to me. Why would you spend such huge money and trade capital to bring in guys like Juan Soto and all that stuff if you're not going to hold management accountable for getting the most out of them and winning championships? That doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. Tance, you can make sense of that. Why would you give up such important capital, like just what we just in the past deadline? You know, we've traded multiple top prospects in order to try and save this season. Why would you make all those moves if you're not going to hold management accountable to make the most out of them and to try and go as far as you possibly can with those players that you acquired? Does that make sense to you? No.
Nope. Nothing makes sense, and that's the overall problem. Is Al's giving Cashman the budget. Cashman's filling the budget with players that have fairly good resumes, if not great, and then a manager doesn't know what to do with them. I mean, it's they just drive me nuts.
I don't count losing in a World Series as an achievement, man. Not the way they played in the World Series. If they actually played well in the World Series, then I would say it's an achievement. But they got it back.
I agree with. If it was a competitive game that we lose, I'm like, all right, it sucks we lost, but at least we were. Yeah. They just there's a difference between being outplayed and then just losing a game.
Right. And the thing is, we didn't really get outplayed. We cost ourselves most of the games.
Oh, we beat ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah, we completely beat ourselves. So I don't know why the Yankees are so proud of themselves that they made the World Series. If they basically played against themselves and lost in a World Series with a team that's so much better than you. The Dodgers are massively better than us, yet we could have won the World Series if we didn't play so incompetently.
Yep.
And that should have been the red flag for Hal Steinbrenner and Brian Cashman to go, well, maybe we need to change manager. No, extend Aaron Boone. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, because he's going to do whatever Cashman wants him to do.
Yep.
So, but what we want you to do is go ahead and hit that like button, hit that sub button, and share this out with your friends, your family. The stream is on the corner. We hope you all enjoyed this little rant session, the award segment returning. We enjoyed that. Bringing that back to you guys. That is going to wrap things up for us today. So just as always, remember, we do have a couple of series coming up against the AL East. So there's a good chance of, especially with the Boston series coming up, getting a little ground. Let's hope that this is that. I don't know how many springboards they could jump off of before they stick the landing. But something's got to give eventually, Donald. You know what I mean? But we will be back on Friday as we will break down the Tampa series. So with that, just keep in mind the way those pinstripes pinstripes of pride, and play hard.